Okay, it's about 9:45. I'm still in Pershing Square. So remember, that's the first one, um, right in the center of my screen, right there. You can see it. That was the first one I pointed out. That's the second one I pointed out, right? And this is another one. Another one. So we know this is the same kind, even though it's smaller a little bit, I think, because it has that eye thing in the middle. That eye that is following me, right? So they got the eye of on the big dome. I'm talking about the biggest dome. There's an eye underneath it. I don't know what that is. There's something else. I've never seen one with like one below the other one. Can you see that? And then we got these two right here. They all got these big power cords going to them. You see those big, thick power cords. But what I saw with these was it's got red paint. I don't know if you can see that. It's got red paint all on this side, all three of them. Maybe it's some kind of protectant, or I don't know what that is. Why is there red paint on this side of them? Did somebody climb up there and try to, degrade them or block them from looking in a certain direction? Maybe somebody was concerned because there's this big apartment building across the street, right? So maybe somebody was concerned that they were being spied on. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just curious why there was red paint there. This says all activities monitored by video camera. These are not video cameras. Or let me put it this way. They're not just video cameras. In fact, you can probably technically call them video cameras, but they're not necessarily what we would call optical, or in terms of visible light. They're not using necessarily the visible light spectrum to track things. They could be using another, like infrared, for example. They could be using infrared for looking at things, and they could also be emitting infrared. I've seen on Google that you can buy some of these things. They're relatively expensive, like in the thousands of dollars, like $3,000. Some of these things, some more, some less, but like definitely not less than like $1,500. But I don't know what those really are. I just know that it's the same type of thing as that one, and like I said, the one in the center of my screen here. That these three are all the same. But they got these smaller ones. I'm not necessarily sure about the smaller ones in this cluster of three that they have here, right? And then they got the one, like I said, they got the one that's on the bottom of the big dome. Anyways, I'm not going to speculate too much on what these are, what they do exactly. I'm just pointing them out that they're everywhere, these things. And I'm just going to tell you, they are not, quote, purely video cameras, like security video cameras to monitor people. They're not. They are emitting things. They are targeting me. They're targeting my body. I promise you they are. And that's all I just want to convey, is that you see these things in the city, these sorts of things, and I can see one. I don't know if you're not gonna be able to see it. There's one right about in the center of the screen there. I know they have one near the entrance on that 427 building where the bus just passed. I'm going to stop video recording because I'm using up a lot of memory or storage right now. But I just wanted to say I'm getting ready to go to the library. I've been out here for almost 3 hours waiting for the library to open, because the library is open until 10 a.m. And I've been ready to go to the library since like even before 7 a.m. because I got out of breakfast at 6:30 a.m. at the LA Mission. And I couldn't really eat that food they gave me. They had a donut. And I took a picture of it, right? And I'll post that too, maybe. But it was some kind of mystery meat with a croissant, kind of soggy croissant, all kind of mixed in. It was bad. I think there was pork in it too, and it was really fatty, and it was bad. It was poisoned somewhat. I could feel it. When I get poisoned, I can feel it in my right foot. My right foot will start to get numb, especially the front part of it. Happens all the time, by the way. That's how I know I can detect when I'm being, at least not poisoned necessarily with like something like, arsenic or what's the other one that begins with a C? Cyanide. But at least I can tell when I'm being given something that's triggering perhaps what I suspect to be massive histamine releases, and something that causes your capillaries and your veins to constrict. And I can tell when that's happening. It starts in my right foot. Anyways, that's it for now in this video. It's still still Tuesday, June 23rd, on June 23rd, Tuesday, 2025. I'll be heading to the library now in just a little minute, but not a moment too soon, because I've been holding it and having to go to the bathroom for a very long time. And that bathroom, I've been across the street. You'll see on the corner, there's a police car, SUV, but he's parked right next to this bathroom thing. And it wasn't open at 8. It's now almost 10. I've been holding it all this time, and I really got to go. So that's that. I'm gonna start heading that way, but I'm gonna walk this way to do it. And I'll talk more about what I've been preaching. I've been doing a lot of preaching, and I'm just talking out loud like a crazy person, like those crazy people you see on the street corner talking about the end of the world is near and stuff like that. I've been doing a little bit of that, but not in that way. I've been talking strictly about mind control technology. And I'm asking the question, I'm asking people, how do you know you're not under mind control? How do you know? How would you know if there was mind control technology? How would you know that you were not under control? It's a simple question, right? I guess most people would conclude that what I've concluded is unless you're me and you know and you've deduced it, you're not gonna know unless you end up doing something that's wildly out of character. Even then you won't know. You'll simply start asking the question. You'll suspect, wait a minute, I remember that guy was saying, how would you know? And he said if you did something that was completely out of character, maybe that would tip you off, but you're still not going to be proof positive. It's not going to be like 100% you know. You know what I'm saying, right? So the thing is, how would you know? And you probably just wouldn't know. So I'll do a video on how I know and how I deduced it, and so if I'm in the real world and I'm not in purgatory or something, you're just gonna have to take my word for it that what I'm telling you is completely true, and that literally that it exists, that the technology exists. You're just gonna have to take my word for it, and I'll leave it at that. So I'm heading, this is Olive, I'm still on 5th, and that next green light, if you can see it up there, it's not this red light that turned red, but the one behind it, which is a green light, that's Grand Street, and just on the left after Grand Street is the library. That's where I'm headed. June 23rd, Tuesday, 2025, almost 10 a.m.